Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am Annie and I am here to help you with your spoken English, your vocabulary and your communication skills. In today's video, I am going to share with you some study techniques that will help you learn faster and most importantly, you will be able to remember what you've learned. If you are a student and you're preparing for your exams, this video is really going to help you a lot. So make sure you stick with me till the end. Also, if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing for more of my videos. It really helps me out. Now, let's begin. Okay, so the first technique is known as active recall, which is one of the most effective techniques out there. In a best-selling book, How to Become a Straight A Student, Cal Newport discusses about this technique in detail. Basically, in active recall, what you do is, after you've just learnt a topic or maybe a lesson, you close the book and try to remember and recall what you've just learnt. You can also make a quiz and try to answer the questions based on what you have just learnt. This technique is much more efficient than passive rereading where you're just, reading something a couple of times. Guys, our brains work the best when it is used, right? So in active recall, it's not passive reading where you're just, putting information in your brain. You're actually training your brain to remember the things when it is required. There are so many incidents while writing the exam, you cannot remember what you've learned and you're just like, I had read about this, I know I had gone through this, but I can't remember now. Because simply reading is not effective. You're just simply feeding information in your brain. But with active recall, you are actually retrieving the information that you just put out there. You are training your brain to actually remember the things when required. So in future, most likely during your exams, you will be able to retrieve the information that you have read. This is the difference between, simply learning and using study techniques, because even if you've studied, there are so many times where you forget. But with active recall, you are actually training your brain to remember the things. So after you've finished a topic, close the book and try to recall whatever you've learned. The next technique is the Feynman's technique, wherein you basically learn by explaining and understanding. It is a technique that I often use and it's really simple. After you've learnt a topic, again just close the book, but this time pretend that you are actually explaining it to somebody. When you are trying to explain it, you are actually breaking it down. So the understanding of that topic becomes very strong. The next technique is called the spaced repetition, wherein you constantly review what you've learnt after some duration of time so that you don't forget what you've learned. For example, if you had studied a chapter yesterday and now you're going to start a new one, before starting the new one, take 15 minutes to review whatever you've learnt yesterday. And if you're not doing it every day, you should try to at least revise what you've learnt at least once a week. This way you won't forget whatever you've learnt easily. If you are giving your boards or any kind of entrance exam, please start studying early so that you have plenty of time left for revision. The next technique is my favorite technique, and that is known as the Pomodoro technique, in which you basically study for some time and then you take a break. So you study for 25 minutes, take a 5-minute break, again study for 25 minutes and take a 5-minute break. So you have to do this for like 4 sessions, 4 cycles, by taking 5 minutes break in between, and you are going to study for the stretch of 25 minutes. This is a technique that I use to get so much of my work done, and it is really beneficial. So all you have to do is set your timer for 25 minutes, study for 25 minutes, take a 5-minute break, again get back to studying for the next 25 minutes. You have to discipline yourself, make sure that your breaks are not more than 5 minutes. These breaks are really refreshing for your brain, and it becomes more efficient when you take these short breaks in between. So make sure to try this technique. This technique is best for somebody who cannot focus, gets distracted easily, and cannot sit in one place for a long duration of time. So I think this technique works best for those people. But if you are somebody who is able to learn for a longer period of time, you can sit and study for a longer period of time, I think you wouldn't like this technique, because 25 minutes is not enough time, and when you're in that flow of studying, you feel like not taking any breaks in between. So I would suggest you that don't sit again for too long. 40 to 45 minutes is the most sweet spot for studying or working at once. Try to take a 5 minutes break after each 45 minutes. Just go to the loo, take a walk around the house, drink water, see what's going on, and just come and sit back again. It is very funny that most of our life is spent in studying and learning, but nobody actually teaches you how to learn. You are supposed to learn things, but you never learn how to learn. And this might come as a surprise, but the most common study techniques, such as highlighting or making notes, these are actually not that effective. If you are preparing for boards and entrance exams, one of the best method to do your revision is actually solve and go through the past year's question papers. It is the most effective. It uses active recall, and you can actually find out what you know and what you don't know. So it gives you a lot of opportunity to actually find out what you haven't learned yet, or what are the things that you need to pay attention to. That's one thing I really recommend. So that was it for today's video. I hope you liked this video. Tell me in the comments below how you study, and most importantly, don't forget to subscribe. All the best, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.